All right, number 4, we have using the same mean of 100 and standard deviation of 16, determine the percentage of people who have IQs less than 120. Now, we have already converted 120 to a z-score if you look back at number 2. But I will show that conversion. 120 minus 100 divided by 16. And we find that that is 1.25. That's the z-score, okay? Now, if you look at the Bell, I put 1.25, which is 120, and it says less than 120. It doesn't give you an actual stopping place, but it wants you to shade everything that is less, that would be going to the left of 120. So if you shaded everything to the left, you would see that this is a body picture, okay? It's a body measurement. You are going across the middle, which means more than 50% is shaded. So there is no actual math. It's just you going on the chart, on your table, and you're going to give the body measurement for 1.25. So if you look at the chart, that body measurement is 0.8944. So all I want is that percent. Move the decimal 2 places, and you have 89.44%. That's how many people have an IQ less than 120. Number 5. It says using the same mean of 100 and standard deviation of 16, determine the percentage of people who have IQs greater than 140. And we have already converted 140 back on number 1, but I'll show that again as well. If you convert 140 to a z-score, we will come up with 2.5, okay? So it says greater than 140. So if you look at my Bell, I have 2.5, which represents the 140. And if we go greater, that means we're coming to the right of it. And that's very, very little. And that would be a tail. That's a tail picture. It doesn't tell you where to stop. It just says go greater, which means bigger than the 140. So that would be a tail. So you would take your table and you would look at the tail column and you would see 0.0062. So making that an actual percentage, you would put 0.62%. 0.62%. Now number 6 and 7, we're changing our theme from not z-scores, but to run it in a race. So on number 6, it says, the times of the finishers of the New York City 10K run are normally distributed with a mean of 61 minutes and a standard deviation of 9 minutes. Determine the percentage of finishers with times between 50 minutes and 70 minutes. So I want to know the percentage of people that finish between 50 and 70 minutes. So you're going to need to convert 50 and 70 to z-scores. So we're going to say 50 minus 61, because that's our mean, divided by 9, which is the standard deviation. So when you say 50 minus 61 divided by 9, you get a negative 1.22, and my 2's are repeating. So it's going to stay at 22 because 2 does not make it go up to a 3. Okay, we're going to convert 70 to a z-score. And so we got 70 minus 61 divided by 9, and that would give us 1 on the dot. So now, when you look at your Bell, let me kind of zoom in So you can see now the negative 1.22 is negative, so you know it's going to be on the left of 0. That represents 50. And then 1 is on the right. That represents 70. Now, I want to know the percentage of people finish between 50 and 70 minutes. Well, that's going to include from here to here. So you're going to add these pieces together. I would hope that you could see that this is a between mean and z picture. You have between the mean of 61 and 70. You can find that blue spot on your chart. And you have between the mean and 50. That's a z-score, negative 122. You can find this blue spot. So if you go find both blue pieces, you would add them together, okay? This is not a subtraction problem because you have one piece on the right side of the mean and you have one piece that's on the left side of the mean. They're not on the same side. If you were looking for pieces on the same side and you had a gap, you would subtract. That's what we did on the first two IQ problems. But this one, you're on both sides of 0. So you add them together. But this would be a portion between mean and z problem as well. So let me zoom out. And we're going to get those portion between mean and z scores, measurements. So if you look for 1.22, 1.22's portion between mean and z, and again, it doesn't matter if it's negative or positive, it's going to be 0.3833, and 1's portion between mean and z is 0.3413. And this time you add them together. You add them together because they're on different sides of the middle. You have one on the right and one on the left. You got a right piece and a left piece. So if you add them together, you have 0.7301. So that percentage would be 73.01%. Number 7. Number 7, it says using the same mean of 61 minutes and standard deviation of 9, find the percentage of finishers with times less than 75. So we got to convert 75 to a z-score. So we're going to take 75 minus 61 and divide it by 9. So that would give us 1.555 is repeating, okay? You got a lot of 5s. So that means when you round, that rounds up to 1.56. Okay, that's different than the 2's repeated. That one's going to round up to 1.56. So if you look at the picture, I have 75 represented as 1.56. And it says times less than 75. So that would come all the way to the left. If you look, that's a body picture. That's going to be a body picture. So you're going to go and look under the body column on your table. And you're going to see that that measurement is 0.9406. And so that percentage would be 94.06%. This would include your word problems in 6.3.